everybody, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about all the PvE explorative goodness that I am excited for in Destiny 2. Now, I know you're probably thinking, what do you know about PvE and explore, and all you do is shoot people in the Crucible? Listen, when it comes to single-player games that are open world, I rarely ever get to the main story. I rarely finish it, to be honest, because all I do is explore the world that I am in. I love having a world that makes me want to explore, that makes me want to just go to places on the map that I have no reason to go to besides the fact that I just want to see it. I love stuff like that. I've spent 5 hours in Horizon Zero Dawn just running around killing robots, so I'm all about exploring, and Destiny 2 is bringing a number of different things to the game that's not currently in Destiny 1 to make us want to stay in these worlds for longer and to have more to do whilst we are exploring. So let's talk about the first thing that they are doing. One way that Bungie is hoping to do this by making us want to stay in the world and have more to do is by having public events appear on your map. So currently in Destiny 1, you kind of have to just sit around in an area and wait for a public event to come, whereas in Destiny 2, if a public event is happening, it will be on your map. Now, this is a really nice change just to make doing public events easier, but I think it's also a really cool change to help us live the fantasy of being this guardian that's exploring the worlds, trying to get our power back, trying to find our old friends, because now what you're going to have is a situation where you and a bunch of other guardians are on the same planet. You're all going to pull up your map and you're going to see there's a public event, and all these guardians from different stretches of this planet are going to come together to take down a mighty foe. So I think that's really cool. Hopefully we're going to be seeing even more people in public events because everyone can find them, and I've always loved that co-op with random strangers in Destiny. I've always loved that. It's always been something that I found super, super, super awesome. Now, something that is totally new that is coming to Destiny 2 is something called Adventures, which is a brand new activity that will take you about 10 to 15 minutes to complete. Now, these adventures have narrative and they have dialogue that will take you to new places to do new things and discover new mechanics. So what it kind of seems like adventures are going to be is you're going to just like come across this random NPC that's just hiding in a bush or something. I don't know what NPCs do. That sounds like something an NPC would do. And you're going to be like, what are you doing in the bush? And this guy's going to be like, oh man, there was just this crazy monster that I need you to go hunt down. Go on this adventure. It probably won't be that cheesy. The voice lines are probably better. The voice acting is definitely better. So then you're going to get this adventure and you're going to have this whole narrative that explains the situation that you're going on this adventure to complete. It explains more about the world. You get to learn more just about this world that you are in, which is so incredibly important in any kind of open world. Even if it's not fully open world, even if it's just kind of open world, it's so important to have the player feel connected to what the hell is going on. So that's really exciting. We don't really know anything else about adventures except once we complete it, we're gonna get loot. We don't know what that loot is. We don't know anything, but we do know that it's gonna have dialogue, it's gonna have narrative, and it's going to be 10 to 15 minutes. So it's a pretty good chunk of time that it's going to take to complete it, and we're going to learn more about the world. So I'm all about that. Now, the next thing that we have that is brand new to Destiny 2 that is not in Destiny 1 is something called Lost Sectors, and this is going to be Destiny's version of dungeons. So what it's going to be like is you're going to be exploring the world that you're in, and you're going to come across a symbol for a lost sector on the wall as you're just around exploring the world. Now, when you see that symbol, you know that you are getting close to some kind of entrance to this dungeon, and inside you will find a boss. Once you kill that boss, you get some awesome treasure. So of course, wandering around the world and just finding lost sector symbols in the world is one way to find these dungeons, but also you're going to meet characters within the world. Now, this might seem like a really stupid thing to be excited about, but it just shows you how deprived we were in Destiny 1. I'm excited to be out in the world and see NPCs, because currently you just see bad guys. Like, you don't happen to come across a merchant that travels around the world and all of a sudden this merchant has this crazy exotic armor and you want to buy it. Like, that does not exist in current Destiny. So we're going to be out exploring this world. We're going to find a character just out in the wilderness, and they will give you some markers on your map to find these dungeons. However, Even if they do decide that they want to be super nice and mark this dungeon on your map, it's not going to take you exactly to where it is. It's only giving you a general area, but you will still have to go into the world and explore to find the entrance. It will just give you the area that the dungeon is in. Now, it is definitely worth noting that in this interview where all of this information is from, which I will link in the description, dungeons are meant to be done pretty quickly. It's not meant to be a mini solo raid when you go in the dungeon. You're not gonna find this dungeon and be like, oh my god, it's Crota, but in a dungeon. It's not gonna be that. It's meant to be done pretty quickly. You're meant to just be like exploring the world. Maybe you're gathering materials. I don't know if that's what you do in Destiny 2. I'm just guessing. And then you come across this lost section and you're like, oh snap, I want to get me some treasure. You go in, you kill a boss, you get treasure, and you leave. It's not meant to be this crazy thing. So just don't go in this expecting like raid-like mechanics in this dungeon. It seems like adventures are going to be much more deep, and they're gonna have more depth to them. It seems like the dungeons are like, I'm just gonna go in and get some cool loot. So don't expect too much stuff when it comes to dungeons. So those are going to be the new activities that we are doing in Destiny 2. And this just makes me really excited because I want to go to these new planets, Io, Titan, Nessus. I want to go to these places and want to explore them. That's what I really freaking want, is to want to explore. That feeling of want to find things that other people haven't found on this planet yet. I want that feeling again. We had that feeling right at the beginning of when we got to explore the Dreadnought, for example. We had that feeling. I want that, but I want even more of that. And I want to always feel like I'm exploring and finding something new. I know that's hard to do in a game that people are going to be playing for thousands of hours, but I at least hope for a little bit of time where the adventures and the dungeons are just exciting and I'm exploring and I'm like, ooh, a dungeon, and I get all giddy and excited. That's what I want. So I am super excited for this. People ask me what I'm most excited about for Destiny 2. I say new subclasses, but this is definitely the second thing that I'm most excited for. All the other stuff is great, but if Bungie can nail the open world feel of a living, breathing world that you want to be in and you want to explore, that is going to be awesome. So I just hope that they can nail it. Let me know in the comments section, what do you think about adventures and dungeons? Do you think they're going to be awesome? Do you think we're just going to complete a dungeon and get some spin metal? All of these are possibilities. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about dungeons and adventures, and I will speak to you awesome people later. Bye.